Okay, so to start with Lightroom, the first thing you need to do is make the selects of the picture that you want to actually edit. We don't want to edit everything. So if a picture that you want looks maybe too bright or too dark, maybe the white balance looks a little bit off, you can select a few of your pictures. I'm just doing that by holding the Command key, selecting a few different pictures, and then I am going to bring those to my selects folder. And hit OK for the move. So we're only going to bring in the pictures that we actually want. So these 3 pictures are the ones that I want. So I need to download those to my actual computer. And that shouldn't take very long, hopefully. And then once that they're downloaded, I'm going to open up Lightroom. So I need to bring in some pictures. So I can go to my downloads in my Finder, open up that zip, and bring in these 3 pictures. So this is all that I have imported so far. What I can do as I'm bringing them in, I want to import those. And the next thing that I want to do is, if I'm going to be importing a lot of pictures into here, what I might want to do is enter some keywords. So this would be media, media art. And so all of these have now been tagged with media art, so that if I'm searching for them, some pictures that show media art, you can see that these all have that keyword. It might just help for later on if we're short some pictures in the yearbook, if you can like search up some stuff. So I could put in here photography, I could put a number of different things. I could put, these are also grade 10 students, so I could also keyword these with grade 10. I could also keyword them like art, any sort of number of things. Okay, so once I have those imported, what I'm going to do is I want to actually go in here and edit my picture. So with developing your pictures, you can do all sorts of things. We can edit them for white balance. We can edit them for exposure. Those are probably the 2 biggest ones that we can do in this program. So we've jumped from the library now to developing. So this picture I think looks a little bit yellow. I also think it's maybe a little bit dark. It is a darker picture, so I don't want to over brighten it, but I do want to make some corrections here. So the first thing I'm going to do is, the white balance can either be yellow or blue or red or sort of green. So I think it's too yellow, so I'm going to swing this back to the blue side just a little bit. And to see the before and after, if we go to view, before and after, if you hit Y on your keyboard, you can see the before and the after. So you can see here's my after. It is a little bit less yellow, which I think is a little bit nicer, especially in this seamless. I can see that that yellow is a better fit. So I just hit the Y again to get rid of it. I could play around here with exposure. I don't think I probably want to too much. I could try to bring up the shadows a little bit. I can look at the highlights, maybe bring them down a little bit so I can see the objects on the seamlesses a little bit better. I like playing with highlights and shadows sometimes in a picture like this, where it's a high contrast, because if I just go in and play with the exposure, it's just going to brighten the whole thing, and that's not always the best option. So again, to see the before and after, I'm going to hit the Y. I think it definitely looks a little bit better. So I'm going to hit Y, and then once I'm happy with that, you are going to want to, at the end here, we're going to export those back out. So, oops, sorry. To zoom in and out, it's the same as Illustrator or Photoshop. It's Command plus and minus, so you can check sort of details and whatnot. There's other things that you can sort of play around with, but for this, for really all that we want to do, this is going to be great. Okay, then I'm going to go to my next picture. Again, this is probably more of an exposure thing. Oh, the other one that I do want to show you is sharpening. So sharpening is good if you have something that's a little bit soft in the focus. You can bring up the sharpness. Now we don't want to go crazy because it is going to sort of go, not pixely, but it can get a bit noisy. So you don't want to over sharpen. Sometimes just a little tweak is all you need. Okay, so back to white balance I think looks good. Those whites look white. We can try the overall exposure. So that's sort of interesting to maybe about there, bringing up the faces. And then I might play around here with the shadows. I don't think I want to go too much further. And then you can play with the highlights. What looks good? Something in there maybe. And then to see the before and after, there's your Y before and after. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And then my last picture that I want to be editing, this one, this doesn't do a great job with rotating or cropping pictures, I don't find. So I'll do that. I'll do the straightening in, well, either Photoshop or actually in the Yearbook software. For this one, I think I just want to play around with the exposure, just make sure that it's great. I think, again, I'm going to sort of play with the highlights. I like where it looks red and blue there. In my shadows, I might bring up just a tiny bit so we can see the person a little bit more. My before and after. It's pretty subtle, but I think that looks good. This looks a bit yellow. I just want to double check that the colors look good. I don't want to go any cooler, I think. I think that what we'll do is we'll probably crop this into sort of more of a square picture, so we'll cut those out. I think that looks good. All right. When you're happy with your pictures, you're going to select the images that you've edited. They'll all be down here, the 3. And we're going to go File, and we're going to go Export. And we are going to export them to the desktop. It's going to ask you what you want to export them as. So I've already typed this in here before. So edited media art. I'm putting the custom text in here, so it'll be like edited media art 1, edited media art 2, edited media art 3, because that way I know for sure that these are the edited versions when I'm bringing them into our Yearbook software. So I am going to export those to our desktop. Oh, it's because I already did it. Let's overwrite them. I did a practice run through, so that's why they're already there. All right. So it says here, there's my export. So it's done. I'm going to minimize these. And my pictures are here. And there's my pictures. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is go back here. And so I've got my selects folder. What I want to make is a new folder called edited. And then what I'm going to do is grab my edited photos and upload them to the shared drive. And then we are good to go. So and the nice thing is this is the link that you've handed in to me. So when I open up your work, I can see all of your rough work. I can see the selects that you've chosen, and then I can even see the edited pictures that you did to sort of tweak them. And you don't have to edit all your selects. If they looked good, that's fine. Just make sure that they make it into the final folder so that when you bring everything, all your good selects into your Yearbook website application.